Hello and welcome back into WCBN Sports' coverage of the USF-Rawlings Invitational here in Tampa, Florida. Game 2 for the Michigan Wolverines against the South Florida Bulls, the host of this event. I'm Alex Miller, alongside me TJ Fossmeyer. Back at it for Game 2 here today. Michigan lost 8-2 to Delaware. A bit of a shocking start to their season. Look to bounce back against a strong USF team. Michigan will be the away team against the hosting USF Bulls. Lineup for Michigan. Couple changes from this morning. Might look a little bit more familiar to someone who watched last year's Michigan team. Ellie Sealer in the leadoff spot. Indiana Langford, who didn't play in Game 1 other than as a pinch runner, gets the start at second base and in the 2 spot in the order. Denisa Conway moves down to 3rd in the order. Maddie Erickson one back to cleanup. Lauren puts one down to 5th. She's playing first base this time. Ella Stevenson hits 6th and plays right field. Lily Valamont catches and hits 7th. Ava Costalis in there at designated player. She did not play in Game 1 after solidifying a starting spot at designated player down the stretch last year. She's in there hitting 8th once more. Ella McVeigh in the 9 spot for Michigan at shortstop, and Lauren Derkowski in the circle.
Yeah, I agree, and as you said, I think this is just more of the same from last year, trying to replicate that success. You have the 1-2 punch of Ellie Sealer, Indiana Langford, often using the sacrifice of Sealer getting on base, followed by Indiana Langford sacrificing, moving her into scoring position. So that's more of the same, putting Costalis back into designated player, and then rolling out your ace and Lauren Derkowski for her first start in her senior season. So this should be a fun one. And again, yep, this is more of the same from last season's success.
Around the horn defensively for the USF Bulls. In the outfield left to right, Alex Wilkes, Alexa Galligani, and Olivia Elliott in right field. In the infield left to right at the hot corner, Dania Brooks. At shortstop, Alana Rivera. At second base, Kathy Garcia Soto. At first base, Jamia Nelson. Behind the dish, Camille Ortiz-Martinez. She's in the battery with the freshman Ann Long. Long, true freshman. Her only action was she got the final out in a blowout win for USF yesterday, a 9-1 6-inning win over Delaware. So 9-1 over a team that just beat Michigan 8-2. Long got the final out of that game. Now she gets a start against Michigan here on Friday.
Yeah, and this USF team has beaten Michigan 2 times in a row in their last 2 games. Michigan looking to flip the script as far as recent history, and not like they need this win, but a win here would be phenomenal going forward into tomorrow, which is going to be huge. You have Illinois State first, and then you have number 3 ranked Florida up next tomorrow. So this would be a big momentum shift following the disappointing loss earlier today for a tone-setting win against the hosting Bulls.
And obviously, you never want to lose a game to open this season, and you don't want to lose one to a mid-major team, but Delaware, a very strong team, the Coastal Athletic Association, been at the top of that conference the last 3 years. But now your margin of error for what is a successful USF-Rawlings Invitational gets a little bit slimmer. This becomes a game you really want, and obviously Florida is going to be a tough challenge. You do not want to leave here if you're Michigan at 2-3 with losses to Delaware, USF, and Florida. I mean, obviously they can still knock off Florida. They did so twice last year, 2-0 against the Gators. But this is a game you really want to win against a strong USF squad.
Right. I mean, in the grand scheme of things for the season, I'm sure these losses against Delaware, it'll just be kind of water under the bridge. But like just in terms of setting the tone for the start of the season, to set up as you go into Big Ten and arguably better matchups, you need to get a win here, just to go forward, meet expectations, because this is a fun Michigan team. We went into Tampa really excited about this team, and we still are. And from the last game, it's nothing you can't fix, and this is where it starts here, just hours after that disappointing 8-2 loss.
And Michigan, the away team in this game, last time earlier this morning against Delaware, they gave up 5 runs in the top of the first to the Blue Hens. They'll get a chance to bat first, get the juices flowing early, get this offense started. And again, the top of the order, Ellie Sealer, Indiana Langford back in her 2 spot that she held last year. Janisa Conway, who had a great Game 1 today, hits 3rd. But this just to me feels like a little bit of a deeper lineup compared to the one that you just put out. Obviously, Maddie Ramey and Avery Fantucci both had good games this morning, but those are more unproven bats as opposed to when, Ava Costalis, designated player, is hitting 8th. You feel like you've got a little bit more depth in this lineup.
Yeah, no, I would agree. And, from last season, Tampa offense here didn't really get started. Last game it did. So, and again, as we were talking about, Coach Stoll was going to experiment with the offense.
First pitch of the day for Long is a strike on the outside corner of the left-handed hitter, Ellie Sealer. And, everyone gets pushed down a spot in the order with Indiana Langford hitting 2. That's part of this extra depth, and Langford's such a dangerous speed threat. Here's the 0-1. That one just misses the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ellie Sealer.
Just stone cold takes from Sealer so far today. 3 walks in today's earlier game, and just evening the count 1-1. Stone cold take.
1-1 from Long. Misses inside to the left-handed hitter Ellie Sealer. 2 balls, 1 strike. Umpires in this one, same crew. They've moved around the horn a bit. Chelsea Clark calls the balls and strikes. Matt Jacks at first. Anita Robinette at third. 2-1 to Sealer. Cuts on it. Line drive into left field. Charging in and making a diving catch is Wilkes. Well tracked out there in left field by Alex Wilkes. Sealer retired on the line out.
Yeah, just unlucky pocket for Sealer. Fine, that was great contact. Opposite field hitting, just right into Wilkes' glove. Excellent catch out there.
Indiana Langford in there now. Corner infield brought in. Langford thought about slapping at it and lays off 1-0.
But the prototypical speedy slap hitter, she can make any routine ground out in the infield. So close, she'll maybe miss it by half a step. And just that speed in the lineup is so crucial, and was so crucial last year to the success of this team.
1-0 to Langford. Takes a pitch inside, 2-0. To Indiana Langford. Janisa Conway on deck. And Long, the freshman, rocks home 2-0. And found the inside half, 2-1 now.
As I mentioned, her speed, she had a team best 16 stolen bases last season. So if she's a threat on the base pass, no matter where.
Long rocks back 2-1. Up and in, 3-1. And Long, the freshman, Sanford, Florida native. Rocking the South Florida Bulls green and white. That one's fouled back by Langford. Green and cream, really, for USF. Michigan once more. Blue pants with maize trim, white tops, maize letters. USF in the green with high cream socks, white undershirts, white visors. As Langford slaps that one foul. 3-2 count, hit it into her own dugout. Maddie Erickson in the hole, holding the softball at the top step of the dugout.
Nearly caught that one in the dugout, too.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Indiana Langford. 1 down here in the top of the first. Here's the pitch from Ann Long. Called strike 3. Langford punched out. First career strikeout for Ann Long in the circle. Now Janisa Conway, the 3-hitter, with 2 gone in the first inning. First pitch to her from Long. Caught at the inside corner, 0-1.
And Long played both ways in high school, but chose to enroll here for South Florida as a pitcher. 2.38 ERA with 60 strikeouts last season.
0-1 to Conway. She leaves it alone. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Long flings the 1-1. Conway fouls it off. Up toward us on the third base side. Maddie Erickson was waiting on deck, still holding a former extraneous softball, and that one nearly landed on her head. Dania Brooks, third baseman for the Bulls, signaled her to look out.
And Dania Brooks with the sun setting here in Tampa. Gorgeous day, but that is right at the hot corner, so that's going to be a challenge for the first few innings as the sun sets.
1-2 to Conway. Behind it, lines it toward the Michigan dugout, third base side. And we were walking on the concourse down by the third base side before coming up here to get the start on this game, and it was hard to look in that direction toward home plate.
Yeah, and she doesn't have any sunglasses on, so she's just fighting it by herself, and she's struggling, putting her hand above her face, try to block it.
1-2 here to Conway. Just inside. Stone cold take on a close pitch for Janisa Conway. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And the Bulls dugout wanted that one called, but Conway had to get out of the way of that one. Good patience so far up and down the lineup today for the Wolverines.
Long uncorks the 2-2 off-speed pitch. Conway waited, fouled it back. Busy crowd here this evening. They've filed in since this morning, and it's only to get more crowded after this game. The Florida Gators play, and that always draws a crowd here across state in Tampa. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Long. Conway, line drive over the second baseman, Garcia Soto. Single in a right field for Janisa Conway. 2-out knock. Runner aboard for Michigan.
And Conway, continuing a good start from earlier today's game, and that just floated right over Garcia Soto's, right over her glove into right field. Some excellent hitting.
Outfield playing very deep on the big bat of Maddie Erickson.
Jeez, it might be a step in front of the warning track.
That's about it for the corner outfield. Couple more in center for Galligani. Runner at first, Conway. 2 down for Erickson. Here's the pitch from Long. First pitch outside, 1-0. And 2 to go back to that Conway single. It seemed like Garcia Soto started in. One of the old adages of baseball, your first step should always be back. Maybe that's less true in the infield. A little bit of a misplay from Garcia Soto. Wave and a miss, and a pitch down and in by Maddie Erickson. 1 ball, 1 strike.
But I initially thought she was going to get to that one, but that just floated more than I thought. Had some spin on it to just trickle into right field.
1-1 to Erickson, junior from Wilsonville, Oregon. Here's the pitch from Ann Long. This is down and away. Out of the crouch, popped up Ortiz Martinez to keep an eye on Janisa Conway over at first base. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 gone here in the top of the first inning for Maddie Erickson. Long unfurls the 2-1. Erickson grounds it foul toward her own dugout. 2-2, she's out in front. A lot of room here in the outfield if Erickson can hit a line drive single, and this is a bat that really is a line drive bat.
Yeah.
A lot of room with this deep of the outfield, but they want to keep everything in front of them. 2-2 to Erickson. Lays off a pitch low. Conway takes off to second. Throw down is late. Ortiz Martinez seemed to struggle to get the ball out of her glove into her throwing hand.
Well, that was in the dirt, that pitch, so she had to corral that one before she can make the clean throw. It's a good steal by Conway. Now there's a runner in scoring position with Maddie Erickson, the all-powerful threat.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Erickson. Long rocks back, fires home. That one popped up, and it is not caught in fair territory. Conway going to take the turn and head home. She is safe. Pitcher and catcher Long and Ortiz Martinez both extended their gloves and hit each other's gloves. As Erickson ran through, they had to wait for the traffic to clear. Neither could make the play. Ball in fair territory. Conway comes across, and Michigan leads 1-0 here in the top of the first.
Coach Ken Erickson for the Bulls immediately rushed out of the dugout. I wonder if he's trying to get Erickson for interference, but that was on the base path. You can't do anything about that.
I'm completely with you. To me, it seemed like Erickson totally just took off as fast as she could, headed down the line, and largely she was out of the way by the time that ball was coming down. Just catcher and pitcher, Long and Ortiz Martinez both extended the glove into the same spot.
I mean, it's a fair argument for his standpoint, but I mean, what else can Erickson do there? I mean, he can't stop. I mean, she didn't barrel them over. I mean, nonetheless, with Conway stealing, that was a huge steal for them just to allow the runner to score in. And again, for this game, for the Wolverines, the offense comes alive in the first inning, unlike last season, which certainly is a step in the right direction. You just got to continue this and sustain this success.
All 3 umpires are talking this one over right now between the first and second bases.
I can't imagine it getting called any different than what it is. I mean, what else could Erickson have done there? She's clearly in the base pass. I mean, a normal baseball play running down the path. I don't know what else you do.
We'll see. They're going to go to the headset. After a long discussion, they'll go to the headset, so this stoppage will extend. Bonnie Thole,
and she's making her case too.
In there that Erickson was in her base paths, had the right to run down the first base line, and see what comes of this review. I don't expect an overturn.
No
I'm
way.
with you.
I don't think so. And she's pleading the case too. What else could Erickson have done?
Just to be clear, there's a bunch of Ericksons going on here. Ken Erickson,
Yes.
head coach of South Florida. Matty Erickson, third baseman for Michigan, was running down the line. Ken Erickson made his case on the South Florida side, and we're now in a review. We'll see what comes of this. If it stays as probably an error, maybe an infield single, I don't know what they'll score it. Michigan would lead 1-0.
Yeah.
If this is changed to runner interference, third out of the inning, we head to the bottom of the first with no score.
Yeah, and I thought, that initial pop-up was going to fall right in between Lon and Ortiz-Martinez at first, and then they collided. I don't know. That was just a weird play, but I can't imagine them calling interference on this. I don't know. That'd be a tough stretch.
We've had a lot of reviews throughout this
like
day, and
two in the last
nothing's
game?
been overturned. There was one in the game in between that we caught between Illinois and Georgia Southern. That was not overturned. I don't think we've seen an overturn today in all of the games. But obviously that doesn't really tell you what's going to come of this one. It's like gambling. Just because the penny's been heads the last 10 times in a row doesn't mean it's due to be tails.
You don't know that. I can't imagine this being overturned for interference. That I can't imagine.
We will see.
Still in the booth. They've been taking a while for these. They've been deliberate with their calls, which is I can appreciate.
Me too. If you're going to review it, get it right. And
yeah.
I think this crew's done a nice job so far today.
Mm-hmm. Coach Stoll's talking to Ella Stevenson, who is on deck. So I think she's confident that if she's still talking to Stevenson about strategy, I think she's confident. I can't imagine.
It'll be Lauren Puts first, the freshman. Was designated player in the first game today, now at first base in game 2. So Puts, if this stands, will get a chance to swing with 2 outs and Matty Erickson aboard at first base. Long couple practice throws home to her catcher. She'll try to stay loose here.
And Lon's the only, one of 2 freshmen of this Bull pitching staff, but probably a tertiary option behind Alex Wright, who is a solid contributor out of the bullpen. Hannah Marin, who transferred in from Stetson and was a phenomenal pitcher there, was their ace, transferred here to Tampa. And Bella Sarja had a great junior college career, moved over to Tampa, and has been the ace here so far. So they're riding with the freshman.
Peyton Dixon, who shut
Peyton
down
Dixon,
Michigan last year at this event. Dixon pitched a 7-inning complete game shutout and a win over the Wolverines. I largely expected to see Dixon in this one.
Yeah.
She pitched yesterday, as did Ann Long, but Ann Long just got the 1 out. So currently now on the first base side, all 3 umpires, both head coaches talking this one over. I mean, the ruling being explained to the 2 head coaches. We'll see what comes of this. No signal has been made yet. Bonnie Tholes seems to be pointing toward that spot on the first base line. Boy, I wonder. Bonnie Tholes mimics some runs, but
I wonder if they're going to overturn it.
Bonnie Tholes talking fairly emphatically. I'm wondering if this might be getting overturned. I'm not sure why this discussion is taking so long here. Once they've made their call,
they can't change it.
Bonnie's at this point, personally, I largely think, from my understanding of the ruling, that Erickson did just run down her baseline, did not impede either player intentionally, nor even really unintentionally.
Yeah, they haven't showed the replay here. They haven't been doing that. But, yeah, I mean, just for live, I can't imagine. I can't imagine this being overturned. That would be a terrible call.
Yeah, Mark in the chat, I'm with you. We saw it just the one time live.
Oh, come on.
But they'll overturn this to an out. There's the fist. Bonnie Thole walks back to the dugout. Not happy. South Florida crowd with some cheers. Boy.
That's awful. No.
I mean, largely saying this as a neutral observer, I really did not see Erickson impede that play whatsoever and was just charging down the first base line as one would on any other piece of contact. But that'll end it. So let me take that 1 run off the scoreboard. So no scores at the top of the first. We'll head to the bottom of the first, as one does. And Lauren Derkowski takes the circle for the first time this season.
Yeah, we're excited about that. I mean, her senior season, one last ride in the maize and blue, comes in top 100 in the country, 45th player, ranked according to Softball America, 16th pitcher in the country. Comes in as a team captain, was huge in the Big Ten tournament through all 19 innings. She's the Michigan ace, and they're going to ride her this season.
And look, we're both seniors at the University of Michigan. I joined WCBN as a sophomore, made it down to Tampa. I've called a fair bit of softball in my time here. I mean, really, there's no player I've probably called more and in more significant moments than Lauren Derkowski. Just how important she has been to this Michigan softball team, the number of chances that I've gotten to call her. And I mean, this Michigan team relies on her. Big Ten play really every Friday, every Sunday.
Yep.
Big Ten tournament. Is she the only one who pitched?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a workhorse and
yeah,
as good as it gets in the Big Ten.
No, I agree. I mean, she comes in as one of the best pitchers in the Big Ten, one of the best in the country, and she's phenomenal to watch every time. I truly never get sick watching her in the circle. It's incredible. Just the ability with the fastball, reaching around 70, the way she can pull the strain on her, breaking ball abilities. It's incredible to watch.
Olivia Elliott will lead things off. Then Alexa Galligani and Alex Wilkes, the top three in this USF order. They'll face Lauren Derkowski. Elliott digs into the left-handed batter's box. Derkowski, first pitch of the evening, is a strike right in there. It's 67, 0-1.
And Olivia Elliott actually played in Australia in the winter, hit a walk-off single to win her league championship. Got international experience at the plate.
Derkowski whirls an 0-1. Fly ball, drifting foul on the left field side. Gets out of play. Sealer ran out of room. Derkowski ahead 0-2 on Olivia Elliott. Elliott, a junior from right here in Tampa. Last year only at 260, but 17 walks to just 5 strikeouts. So a tough out with 2 strikes on her. She's behind 0-2 here. Derkowski rocks it on corks and misses above the belt, 1-2.
Just like Dania Brooks at the hot corner, using her hand to shield the sun. Erickson's got to do the same with her glove. Tough job at the hot corner for both teams.
Derkowski 1-2 on the ground at first. Lauren puts the freshman, gobbles it up, steps on first, 1 down. Easy out number 1 there. That'll bring up Alexa Galligani, another left-handed hitter. Center fielder digs in. Derkowski, first pitch to her, right there in the zone.
Galligani, contact, speed, threat, and this Bulls team is largely constructed to emphasize speed, contact, and defense as well. And that's just the way Ken Erickson has built this program over the last few years, and she's representative of that.
0-1, 67, just inside from Derkowski, 1-1.
I think that pitch clock's a little slow, or the pitch speeds have been a little slow all game.
1-1 from Derkowski. Rise ball goes up high off the glove of Valamont. 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike to Galligani. Derkowski twirls the 2-1. Off speed, drops on in there. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good stuff from Derkowski so far. And those breaking balls are potent.
Derkowski, 2-2 pitch. Tried to blow it by her, got fouled back. Erickson sprinting. She sprinted toward the netting to try to play that one off of it.
Hey, get out of the sun. She's she's right facing it. Yeah, any attempt to get out of the sun.
Derkowski 2-2 once more. Got her swinging, blew it by her.
First strikeout of the game. Now she stands at 11 away from 500 career strikeouts for the Maize and Blue.
Alex Wilkes, the 3-hitter now, in the right-handed box. Derkowski rocks back and fires, and paints the outside upper corner, 0-1. Alex Wilkes, sophomore from Hudson, Florida. Strong freshman campaign a year ago, hit .292. Derkowski 0-1. Same spot, same result, 0-2.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Infield, outfield straight up. Outfield not particularly deep here on Alex Wilkes. Derkowski 0-2 pitch. Went toward the same exact spot, up and away. No dice that time, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One, 2. Spoiled on the ground off of her foot. Still 1-2 to Alex Wilkes. Lauren Derkowski looks into the Michigan dugout from Jennifer for Jennifer Brundidge's signal. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Derkowski rocks back. Here's the pitch. Off speed, upstairs, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to Alex Wilkes. Derkowski, right foot on the rubber, hands go up. Now she rocks back, 2-2. Line drive. Ella McVeigh there to snare it. She'll throw to first. Not sure if she needed to. I thought she picked it out of the air. Either way, 1-2-3, first inning for Lauren Derkowski.
And good stuff from the Wolverine ace so far. And that was the first solid contact, this Bulls team has had. Anything, foul off has been ground balls right in front of them. They just have not, been able to find or hit Dirk's stuff so far. And she's been looking good. I mean, that's why she's the ace, one of the best in the Big Ten for a reason.
5, 6, 7 due up now for Michigan. Lauren Putz, Ella Stevenson, Lily Valamont. In the first inning, top 2 were retired, Sealer and Langford. Conway then singled with 2 down, and Maddie Erickson almost got on somewhat of a miscommunication error between pitcher and catcher, a little blooper between the 2 of them, but instead they ruled runner interference on Erickson, and she was called out on review.
I'm still reeling about that in my head. I don't know what else Maddie Erickson could possibly do in that situation.
So now 5, 6, 7 puts Stevenson, Valamont all pushed down 1 spot in the order from where they were in game 1 with the insertion of Indiana Langford in the 2 spot. Putz had a good game 1, a couple of walks for her debut.
Yeah, incredible patience from the freshman. Normally you don't see that, but now, she was such an offensive threat in high school, and now comes to Ann Arbor with such a patience, waiting, being selective about where she swings, what she swings at, and, that's a great first step for any freshman.
Putz 2 walks, a base hit, and a strikeout, and her 4 times up in game 1. So on 3 or 4 tries, not too shabby in the first game of her college career. In the heart of this Michigan order once more, she'll lead things off here in the top of the 2nd inning. First pitch to her, a strike. And Long back on the rubber. She checks her wristband, rocks back. And a line drive up the middle, ripped off the bat of Lauren Putz. Leadoff single to start things off for Michigan in the top of the 2nd.
Man, she was all over that one, straight up the middle, just a rocket to center field. Good start for this Michigan offense. You're seeing some life early on. Unfortunately, that first run in the first inning was a race, but you're seeing some life early on.
Putz shot that ball right back where it came from. She's at first for Ella Stevenson now. First pitch from long to Stevenson. Outside. Quick out of the crouch was Ortiz Martinez, keeping an eye on first base. Lauren Putz over there. (1-0). Off speed, drops on in there. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ella Stevenson. One for 4 in game 1 for Stevenson. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Stevenson checked her swing on a pitch down and away. Did she go around? The appeal to first says no. First base umpire Matt Jacks says she held up. 2-1 to Stevenson.
Yeah, and good pull up. That was a turtle slow breaking ball there. Good for Stevenson to check up on it.
2-1. Bounces that one just foul down the third base line. Got inside and jammed her. Pulled it foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lauren Putz over at first base. Nobody down here. Top of the second. No score here in Tampa. And long. Rocks back. 2-2 to Stevenson. Down and away. Ball 3. Lily Valamont awaits on deck for Michigan. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Stevenson. Here's the pitch from long. Ground ball, foul, third base side.
Good fight from Stevenson here with a full count, fouling off all the bad pitches. Still staying alive with no outs and a runner on.
(3-2) pitch. Called, strike 3 on the outer half. Good location there from Ann Long.
I think that was right on the paint. Good pitch from Long to just find the outside.
1 down now for Lily Valamont. Lauren Putz still at first base. Valamont takes ball 1 away. Off-speed stuff, 1-0. Infield, outfield, straight up for the most part on Valamont. Center fielder Galligani shifted a little bit toward left center, only a couple of strides. Here's the 1-0. Below the knees, 2-0. Oh for 4 in game 1 for Valamont. 2-0, big cut, fouls it back, 2-1. Valamont a year ago hit .224. Got better as the season went on, but still room for this bat to grow in a redshirt sophomore season. Here's the 2-1 to Tour. On the move is Putz. Throw down to second is not in time. It was a 1-hop throw from Martinez. Well handled there at the second base bag, but Putz snuck in on the backside.
And you see already aggressive base running. You know, this Michigan Wolverine offense getting aggressive early, and that's what I like to see coming off the loss earlier today. That's what you like to see. Now you have a runner in scoring position.
And a 3-1 count for Lily Valamont. Long hurls home. Down and in, ball 4. Valamont makes her way to first. Putz still up there at second. 2 on, 1 gone. And the big bat of Ava Costales heads to the plate.
Solid at bat from Valamont after going 0-4, just being patient, waiting for your pitch. Fortunately, none of them came across. And now a runner on, and I know this coaching staff is looking for Valamont to step up just to add another layer and another dimension to this team, just added on from last year.
First pitch to Costales. She cuts that ground ball to third. Step on the bag for Brooks. Still fire to first. Got her, double play. Dania Brooks gets the Bulls out of the second inning. Costales grounds into a double play. 5-3 double play. Grounder to Brooks, step on the bag, and cut Costales down at first. Stevenson grounded into a similar thing in game 1 with the bases loaded. The Bulls get out of the jam. We head to the bottom of the second.
It was just Brooks was playing in towards the foul line, I believe, to kind of get out of the sun, but normally that's where she was positioned anyway, and just got fortunate to get on the bag and to apply the force and then fired over to first. And these corner infielders for the Bulls, some pretty famous relatives. Dania Brooks, daughter of Hall of Fame linebacker, Tampa Bay Buccaneer linebacker Derek Brooks, and then Jamia Nelson, the daughter of All-Star NBA point guard Jameer Nelson, NBA 2K13 legend for the Orlando Magic.
That's how Jameer wants to be known, NBA 2K13 legend.
Oh, yeah. If I wasn't playing with Derrick Rose then, I was playing with the Magic with Dwight Howard and Jameer Nelson. Ooh.
Bottom of the second inning here in Tampa, South Florida, Michigan. No score so far. And Lauren Derkowski back to work here, bottom of the second. She worked a 1-2-3 first.
I'm surprised the Bulls stadium staff allowed Mr. Brightside to be played out here, given the current matchup. Nonetheless, the famed Michigan song is playing out here in Tampa.
The song did exist before the Big House.
Well, right, but it's a Michigan staple now. That's what I'm saying.
It is.
It did exist, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know how recent of a trend that was, or recent of a thing that was. Like 2000, early 2010s or something?
Something like that.
I had no idea.
4-5-6 here for the Bulls. Foreman, Rivera, and Brooks. And they'll waltz with Lauren Derkowski. Josie Foreman, the catcher, digs deep into the right-handed back staggered stance up the third base side. First pitch, line drive into left field. Split McVeigh and Erickson. Well struck by Foreman.
That was the first rocket off the bat of the Bulls against Derkowski. Everything else has either been swing or miss or a grounder. There will be a pinch runner for the Bulls, too.
Foreman will step off. Good swing there for Foreman. Last year only hit 150. The year before, missed the whole season with injury. Before that, a very productive player that hit 285 as a backstop. Well struck single there. Grace Ron, freshman, will pinch run for first base as Alana Rivera gets ready to hit here. Derkowski, first pitch to her. Outside half for a strike, 0-1.
Alana Rivera last season led the Bulls in average and RBI, potent contact power mix here in the middle of the order for the Bulls.
0-1 from Derkowski. She shows bunt, pulls it back. Pitch misses up and away. Rivera so far this year 0 for 4, but has 3 walks. And 2 RBIs as well. One to her from Derkowski. Ground ball, foul. Bonnie Thole will field it sitting on a bucket at the steps of the Michigan dugout.
Coaching staff made some excellent plays from the dugout
They
this
have.
tournament.
And Faith Canfield made a phenomenal play at the first base coaching box for Michigan.
Even with like 3 sliding mitts in her hand, that's pretty impressive.
Derkowski rocks back 1-2 to Rivera. Ground ball up the middle. McVeigh turns it Langford over to first in time. 6-4-3 go the Wolverines, 2 away.
Man, excellent double play. And again, that's second double play turned. And just excellent chemistry between Indy and Ella McVeigh. And fortunate for McVeigh, she was close to the bag to make the easy flip to Indy. A great play and a quick 2 outs for Dirk in the circle.
And quick turn there for Langford to get a good runner on Alana Rivera. Jania Brooks now will hit here with 2 gone. First pitch to her from Derkowski. Off speed, misses the zone, 1-0.
She's been a reliable starter for the Bulls ever since she went on to campus hitting just over 250 last season.
1-0, Derkowski pumped one in there at 67, fouled back by Brooks. One ball, one strike to Dania Brooks. Derkowski deals home, down and in, nearly caught a foot of Brooks.
I think that was behind Brooks, actually.
Two balls and one strike. Derkowski comes set. Here's her 2-1 pitch. Up and away, 3-1. Derkowski behind Dania Brooks. Brooks, the sophomore, hit 253 a year ago. 3-1 from Derkowski. Blooper in the air, right back to the circle. Derkowski came a few steps in and hauled it in. So the double play helped out Derkowski. She's seen the minimum. Gave up the one single, had it erased by the 6-4-3 double play, then gets Brooks. We head to the top of the third, no score.
A great defensive inning for the Wolverines. Just besides that pop-up by Derkowski to force the end of the inning, great double play. And you're right, the turn by Indy at second to force the runner in Alana Rivera, who's a phenomenal runner for this Bulls team, out on that double play. Just phenomenal defense shown.
Hello, folks. Broadcaster Cam makes its first appearance of the evening game. Alex Miller, TJ Fossmeyer, thrilled to be here with you for this one. No score, top of the third inning coming up. So far, Michigan Bats have had some good plate appearances so far in this one. Have had a couple chances. They've looked pretty good. Obviously, trying to bounce back after the loss to Delaware 8-2 this morning.
Yeah, and they've they've gone more alive relative to the last game. They're just taking steps, and like I said at the end of the last game, there's nothing that can't be fixed early on. That was just one game out of the long season, and they've shown strides already. Granted, you already got one run arguably erased, but it's still improvements, steps in the right direction. 2 hits in the first 2, and now you get Ella McVeigh, who's the prototypical leadoff hitter, and then you really get your leadoff hitter in Ellie Sealer, and then you get to the top of the order. So you have a good chance here to tack on some runs and make Dirk's life in the circle a little easier.
9-1-2 coming up here for Michigan. McVeigh, Sealer, Langford. Shortstop Ella McVeigh will lead things off here in the top of the third inning. First pitch to her from Long. She takes it for a strike. Long rocks back 0-1. McVeigh pops it up, foul territory, third base side, and Brooks ran out of room and hit the tarp. Oh, 0-2 now to Ella McVeigh. Long releases 0-2, just outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Again, just a stark difference in the dugout for Michigan. The energy is there, unlike earlier today, allowing 5 runs in the first inning. The Michigan dugout's getting much more into this, which will help them down the stretch.
1-2, called, strike 3 on the inside corner. McVeigh goes down looking.
She stood there for a while, not a big fan of that inside call there.
So through the order one time, Long has given up 2 hits and a walk, 3 strikeouts, no runs. Ellie Sealer digs in there now. First pitch to her. She takes for ball 1 inside. Sealer lined out to left field her first time up. (1-0) to Sealer. Well struck up the middle and through, a base hit. Sealer squared it up, knocked it through.
Her first hit on the season after 3 walks earlier today. And that was a good hit right up the middle. Easy hit into center field, now runner on. Wonder if they throw the sacrifice with Indy now in the box.
Tania Brooks way in there at third base. First pitch to Langford, she squares around. It's foul, goes back behind home plate. But the bunt here interesting, obviously, with 1 out. Then you bring up Conway with a runner at second base and 2 gone.
Yeah, the 1 out definitely throws a wrench into it. I would not be surprised if they did, just to put Sealer into scoring position.
0-1, Langford tried to lay one down, couldn't get to a pitch low, and it's 0-2. That might change the equation just a little bit more. Long checks her wristband, rocks back. Here's the 0-2. Langford wave and a miss. Not happy with herself. She's down on 3 pitches. That'll bring up Janisa Conway with 2 gone and a runner at first base.
Yep, you were right, Alex. Going down 0-2 changed the equation. She went for the full hack there. Unfortunately, cannot connect. Now Conway in a big spot.
Singular first time up for Janisa Conway. Great start to the season so far, 3 for 5. Half swing and an off-speed pitch, grounds it back to the pitcher, long out of the circle, fires to first in time. Conway retired, but indecisive at the plate. 4 up, 3 down, go the Wolverines. No score, bottom of the 3rd coming up.
An unfortunate break. I mean, she tried to pull back on that one, but couldn't. Landed into fair territory for the easy play for Lawn in the circle. Plenty of game left.
Plenty of game left indeed. Bottom of the 3rd, no score here between South Florida and Michigan. Lauren Derkowski, the Wolverine ace, will go back to work in the bottom of the 3rd inning. She's faced the minimum, gave up a single to begin the last inning, and got a 6-4-3 double play to erase it. Thank you for listening to WCBN Sports, the official student radio of the University of Michigan. I'm Alex Miller, alongside me, TJ Fossmeyer. Thrilled to be down here in South Florida in Tampa for the USF-Rawlings Invitational. 5 games, 3 days. Game 2. Got 2 more tomorrow, including the big clash against the Florida Gators. Also have Illinois State, and then wrap it up Sunday morning against Georgia Southern.
Yeah, and it's been a blast so far. Each 2 years again, or last year and then this year, it's been a blast so far. I love being up here on the Donaldson deck, calling 2 straight opening weekends for Michigan softball. It's always a blast.
It absolutely is. It's quite a pleasure to watch Lauren Derkowski work in the circle. She's back in there right now. The infield's gathered. Hands all together. Now they split high fives all around for Derkowski. Nice pat on the back from Ella McVeigh, her shortstop. 2 senior captains. Now Ortiz-Martinez will lead things off. 7-8-9. Camila Ortiz-Martinez hits first against Derkowski. First pitch strike on the outer half.
Good stuff, and she has found it home on the outside part of the plate, both with the breaking ball and her fastball.
Ortiz-Martinez deep in the right-handed batter's box. She stands tall there. Here's the 0-1. Cranks it foul, right field side. She was behind that pitch. Derkowski ahead 0-2. Derkowski 0-2. Down and in. That caught a piece of the foot of Ortiz-Martinez. Then went into the arm of Lily Valamont. But Ortiz-Martinez will trot down to first. Hit by pitch. She's aboard to open up the 3rd.
Dirk got 2 for 1 there. Hopefully Valamont and Ortiz-Martinez are okay.
Jamia Nelson now. Half swing of the first pitch was high, went off the glove of Valamont, and Ortiz Martinez will move up to second. Appeal down to first, no swing. Says Matt Jacks, the first base umpire. So 1-0 to Jamia Nelson. Ortiz Martinez up on second. Now Ken Erickson over from his post in the third base coaching box. We'll have a chat with the home plate umpire. He's bringing on a pinch runner. He's got everything straight with home plate umpire Chelsea Clark. And Sam Walls will come out and pinch run for South Florida.
Sam Walls' primary role for the Bulls, the first option out of the bench in pinch running situations, now in scoring position.
So she's at second for Ortiz Martinez. 1-0 to Jamia Nelson. Derkowski uncorks, blew it by her, 1-1.
Jamia Nelson could not catch up to that one. Great stuff from Derkowski.
Derkowski sets on the rubber, rocks back, 1-1. That one fouled back. Nelson couldn't catch up to it once more, 1-2.
Yeah, again, way behind on the fastball. Lucky to get a piece of that one to not strike out.
Nelson, a sophomore last year, only 2 for 6, had a homer mixed in there. Derkowski, here's the 1-2 pitch. Up and away, ball 2. Runner at second is the pinch runner, Sam Walls. 2-2 to Nelson. Derkowski deals home. That one fouled back. Big cut for Nelson.
They're lucky to get pieces of these fastballs of Derkowski. Really lively, nearly 70 miles an hour. Lucky for Nelson to catch up to it.
2-2 count once more. Runner at second and Walls. Nobody gone. Bottom of the third inning, no score. Here's the pitch from Derkowski. Off speed. Nelson spoils it back. Two balls, 2 strikes. To Jamia Nelson. Here's the pitch from Derkowski. Off speed, wave and a miss. Down she goes. Nelson down swinging, 1 away here. Bottom of the third inning.
Man, what a great pitch from Derkowski. The inside, the near in breaking ball. Just phenomenal pitch, phenomenal location. And Nelson looked foolish there on that strikeout.
Kathy Garcia Soto now in the left-handed box. First pitch to her from Derkowski. She cuts on, flies it into shallow left field. Sealer comes in and is underneath it. She's got it for out number 2.
Good change of pace for Derkowski. Quick out after the long, drawn-out at bat from Nelson. 2 outs in quick succession.
Lineup turns over to Olivia Elliott, the right fielder. The leadoff hitter. She grounded out her first time up. Hit it right at Lauren Putz at first base. 2 outs, runner at second, no score, bottom of the third inning. First pitch to Elliott from Derkowski, half swing, grounded to third. Erickson fields it, bullet over to first in time. And that'll be the third out of the frame. Derkowski sees 4, a hit by pitch to open it, then 3 straight retired in the bottom of the third. An efficient Lauren Derkowski so far through 3, and no score. We head to the top of the 4th.
Man, a phenomenal job from Derkowski to get out of the jam with a runner in scoring position with no outs, and then 3 quick outs in succession to end the inning and squash any threat for the Bulls to tack on a run. Great start from Derkowski. She's been wildly efficient with keeping runners off the base pass, going perfect 6 for 6, and then with your only threat, just squashing that. Just phenomenal stuff from Dirk.
Pitchers duel, 3 innings deep so far here in this one between South Florida and Michigan. And Long in 3 innings has given up 3 hits, a walk, struck out 4. Nothing across on her.
Seems all too familiar from last year. And this matchup is a pitcher's duel with the Bulls on top 1-0. And the freshman and Long in the circle has looked really good so far.
4, 5, and 6 for Michigan. Maddie Erickson, Lauren Putz, Ella Stevenson. Against the freshman and Long. Erickson will lead off here. First time up, had that weird play where she was retired on interference on her way out of the box. Long comes set, checks her wristband. Now rocks back and delivers off speed. Erickson a rope and snatched out of the air by a diving Dania Brooks at the hot corner. Erickson cranked that ball to the third base line, but Brooks was ready for it.
And now the sun's down. It's a beautiful sunset here in Tampa. Sun's not a factor. She's just able to catch up to that one. That was a missile off the bat of Erickson. Great play from Brooks at the hot corner.
Lauren Putz now. Takes ball 1 up and in.
You've seen some phenomenal defensive plays at the hot corner so far today.
1-0 to Putz. Off speed, dropped on in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. One to Putz. Misses low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Putz had a single in the second inning to open things up. She also stole second base while aboard. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch from Ann Long. And the freshman finds the bottom of the zone.
Some clear boos from the Michigan fan base about that call. That looked really low from up here.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Lauren Putz. 1 gone here, top of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch from Long. That one did miss low, 3-2.
Yeah, no question about that one in the dirt by the freshman pitcher.
Three-two on the ground towards second base. Garcia Soto closes quickly, turned to first in time. Putz retired. That'll bring up Ella Stevenson with 2 gone here. Stevenson struck out looking first time up. First pitch to her from Long. Takes it for a strike on the outside half. Good location once more. And Long, the freshman, has really had it going so far.
Yeah, she's looked locked in over the last couple of innings.
Outside there, 1 ball, 1 strike. Everybody straight up on Stevenson, 2 down. Top of the 4th inning, no score. Here's the pitch, 1-1. This is outside, 2-1. Very light breeze drifts out to left field here in South Florida. 2-1, and Stevenson fouls that one into her front foot. She'll try to walk that off, 2-2. Stevenson takes a practice cut, digs back in here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stevenson keep it going. Lily Valamont waits on deck. 2-2, 2 outs. And Long rocks home. Stevenson cuts at it, slices it foul, first base side. It might have caught a USF player off the netting in the USF dugout. Hard to tell.
Yeah, I got to watch off at the ricochet of the net.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Stevenson. Long unfurls and just misses away, 3-2.
Great take. Down 2 strikes to make it full from Ella Stevenson.
Full count now to Stevenson. Here's the pitch from long. Line drive up the middle and through. A 2-out single for Stevenson. Rivera dove toward the second base bag, couldn't get her glove to it, and Stevenson aboard.
And that's a huge hack from Ella Stevenson. Full count, waiting for that pitch, and she found it, took full advantage for a 2-out single. Some aggressive hitting and base running so far for the Wolverines early on.
Valamont to take off leg pieces of her catching equipment and dig in here. Stevenson at first with 2 outs for Lily Valamont. First pitch to Valamont, a strike. Valamont walked in this one back in the second inning, went 0 for 4 in this morning's game. Here's the 0-1. Takes that on the outside half. 0-2 now to Lily Valamont.
She's been showing patience, walked in the second inning, but probably a little too patient here. Now down 0-2 looking on both pitches.
0-2 outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, infield, outfield, straight up. Runner at first, 2 gone, 1-2. And Valamont got a piece of that. It went into the catcher, Camille Ortiz-Martinez. She'll walk that off. Give a thumbs up to her pitcher and Long.
And both catchers gotten beaten up today off foul tips.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Lily Valamont. And Long, right foot in the middle of the rubber, checks her wristband. Comes set, glove on her right knee, now delivers forward 1-2. Valamont grounds up the middle, played at shortstop by Rivera, throw to first in time. And the 2-out single by Stevenson goes no further. No score in the top of the 4th for Michigan. We out of the bottom of the 4th. Zip, zip.
And you're seeing the Michigan offense, string some hits together with 4 so far to the Bulls 1. Testament to Dirk's abilities, but also as well, the Michigan offense just cannot capitalize with runners in scoring position or runners on. They can get hits in that column, but just not in the other column to the left in the scorecard, and they just need to capitalize on those opportunities. They didn't do that against Delaware, and that cost them. With 2 bases loaded opportunities, and that could have been a completely different story.
No score here between South Florida and Michigan. Bottom of the 4th inning coming up here. Halfway through this one. Michigan lost this morning 8-2 to Delaware. They want to bounce back in a big way against South Florida. So far, no score. Lauren Derkowski doing her part in the circle. Michigan offense, there's certainly a world where they could have a run. That odd call in the first inning that called Erickson out on interference could have been 1 run at least.
Yeah. Well, I'm firmly in that camp. Yeah, that was again a weird call, but you got to take it and make the most of what you got. And you get a bad hand sometimes, but you got to play with it still. We're gonna bring up gambling again.
Well, regardless of the hand that's been dealt to the Wolverines and that department, Derkowski has been lights out. And look, when she throws like this, and she does quite a lot of the time, you always have a chance to win it if you're Michigan when she's in the circle.
Yeah, I agree, but any insurance run just makes her life in the circle look so easy, or much easier. It already looks easy when she's in the circle. It looks like she's barely breaking a sweat, but it just makes it so much easier with those insurance runs tacked on in the Wolverines column. 2-3-4
for USF. Allegheny leads off, tries to bunt, it goes foul. Oh, 0-1 to Galligani. She struck out swinging in the first. Derkowski unfurls the 0-1. Fly ball into shallow left field. McVeigh races back, called off by Sealer, and Sealer misplayed it. Throw to second in time. Got her. Tag applied by Langford. Heads up stuffed by Sealer to pick up the softball. Fired to second. Gallegani tried to get an extra bag. She was cut down.
Man, I just found the right gap in between the charging McVeigh and Sealer down the line in left field, but heads up play from Sealer. What a throw, and that was, and Gallegani was out by a mile at second.
Alex Wilkes now with one gone. Bottom of the fourth inning, no score. Derkowski gets a wave and a miss and an off-speed pitch. They'll score that a single for Gallegani before she was cut down. Certainly a play Sealer could have made. 0-1 to Wilkes. Fly ball high into right center field. Pretty shallow. Conway comes in. She's got it. 2 down.
McGindy had to just stop on that one to try not to replicate what happened earlier between McVeigh and Sealer. With the charging infielder and outfielder coming up in the same ball. Nonetheless, 2 outs here.
Josie Foreman up to bat now. She'll return. She got pinch run for last time by Grace Ron. She's back in there now. Had a singler last time up, well struck. Takes a pitch for a ball up and away, 1-0. Two gone here. 1-0 from Derkowski is fouled off right side, first base side. 69 miles per hour for Derkowski. I think that's the fastest pitch we've seen on the radar gun so far today.
And all night the Bulls have not been able to catch up to anything. Just weak grounders, swings and misses, fouls back. They cannot get to it.
1-1, rise ball blows by her. 1-2.
Well, there's another prime example of that. Just cannot catch up to either breaking balls or fastballs out of the hands of Dirk.
Derkowski, 1-2 pitch. Line drive to left field, well struck, and it'll split Sealer and Conway. It's off the wall. Conway will fire it into second base. Throw there, just not in time. Langford nearly got the glove there. But in there with a double by slide is Josie Foreman.
And that was a frozen rope to the left center gap. Excellent piece of hitting from Foreman. Now with a runner in scoring position.
And Bonnie Thole comes out of the Michigan dugout, chatting with third base umpire Anita Robinette. And boy, I don't know if they're going to take a look at this. It seems like they are not.
It looked close. I think
it was close. Initially, I certainly thought that Foreman was going to beat the softball, but then it almost seemed like her foot popped up off the bag when she hit it, and Langford might have had a window to apply the tag. Either way, safe with the double on the field. And now Alana Rivera up with a runner in scoring position and 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth inning. First pitch to her from Derkowski, rise ball upstairs. 1-0.
I thought from Indiana Langford's initial reaction to the tag, I thought that she thought she got her, but I don't know. It was a close play nonetheless.
And Brundage signals to Lauren Derkowski, her senior ace. Derkowski comes set. Here's the 1-0. And a strike called on the outside half.
Great pitch from Derkowski there.
1 ball, 1 strike. Sun mostly set here in Tampa. Lights have been on for a little while. It is a beautiful evening for some softball. Runner at second. Alana Rivera up there at the plate. She cuts it a 1-1 pitch. Fly ball, shallow right center field. Collision, but Stevenson, the right fielder, comes out with it. Denisa Conway, the center fielder, made some contact with her. And now Stevenson, as they trotted into the dugout, turns around to talk to her center fielder, Conway.
And that's the disaster averted for the Wolverines. Man, that could have been horrible with the runner on second. They easily could have played it a run for the Bulls, but They escape that near mistake in the outfield. Still goose eggs for both the Wolverines and the Bulls.
Top of the 5th inning, no score, and Long will go back to work.
And Anna Long has looked really good. Only 4 hits through 4 innings pitched so far. 4 strikeouts as well. And just down the stretch, as she's gone on, she's almost looked better and better. I've honestly been really impressed with her performance against the Wolverine offense.
For Michigan, it'll be 8-9-1 in the order. Ava Costalis, Ella McVeigh, Ellie Sealer. Costalis came up with a chance to drive in some runs her first time up and grounded into a 5-3 double play. Dania Brooks stepped on third, fired to first to erase what had been runners on first and second, 1 out for Costalis, and get the Bulls out of the inning. Costalis, chance to lead off and swing the stick here. Didn't start in game 1 this morning. Gets a start at designated player here in game 2 this afternoon, late evening, whatever you want to call this game.
Costalis, all freshman team last season, emerged down the stretch as the everyday designated player for this Wolverine team. And again, a huge power bat. 3-time Michigan powerlifting champion, has translated that strength onto the diamond.
First pitch to her, off speed. She checked her swing just in time, says first base umpire Matt Jacks. Good off speed though for Long. 1-0 to Ava Costalis. Long rocks back and fires. Another off speed pitch, misses away. 2-0. The designated player, Costalis. 2-0 pitch here. Bounces in, 3-0. David Costalis, the leadoff hitter for Michigan. Top of the 5th inning, no score between Michigan and South Florida.
Good patience from Ava Costalis. Really close to going around on the first pitch, but has just taken 2 stone cold takes.
Takes a strike and a 3-0 count, move it to 3-1. Ella McVeigh awaits on deck for Michigan in the top of the order. 3-1 to Costalis. Takes it outside, ball 4. She'll trot down to first. And it looks like Bonnie Thole might make a change here. We'll see. Ella McVeigh will dig in there. Home plate umpire Chelsea Clark chatting things over with Bonnie Thole.
I think it'll be CeCe Thorington replacing her on the base path. Her second appearance in as many games. Again, had track experience in high school and has become evident from these last 2 games as the primary pinch running option for the Wolverines.
Thorington on first after Costalis drew a leadoff walk to begin things. Top of the 5th inning for Michigan. McVeigh shows bunt. We'll see if she lays it down. She tried to and failed to. Pitch went by her for a strike, but this is a spot we've seen, or we saw Michigan last year especially, go to a lot. Runner at first base, nobody gone in a tight game. Try to move him to second for the sacrifice.
Yeah, and especially when you have 1, 2, 3 coming up next and no outs, I think that's a great play, but McVeigh on her own can hit as well.
McVeigh once again tries and fails to lay it down. She's behind 0-2.
Yeah, and again, I'm sure this will change things again. .313 hitter last season, her career best year at the plate, hit .500 in the Big Ten tournament, her home school of Iowa.
0-2 to McVeigh. She leaves it alone outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stella McVeigh, senior shortstop, awaits and slaps this one. Fair ball down the third base side. Throw to first, just in time from Dania Brooks. Nearly pulled Jamia Nelson off the bag. The ruler out, but Faith Canfield says to McVeigh, stay right here.
Yeah,
and Bonnie Soul is out to chat with the umpiring crew.
Yeah, Coach Canfield was insistent on it as soon as the play was done. Insisted that Nelson was off the bag. I couldn't see it from up here. I really wasn't looking at that. It was a close play. And they rushed up immediately. I think they're confident, or at least they thought that her foot was off the bag.
They'll go to take a look at this for a review.
Yet another review.
And another fairly important one. With McVeigh safe there, 2 on, nobody out. Prime chance for Michigan to score the first run of this ball game. They'll still have a chance otherwise. I mean, that ground ball slapped toward third basically functioned as the sack bunt that Michigan wanted. Moved Thorrington up to second at the cost of McVeigh's out, but she's safe, obviously a boon to Michigan's offensive chances here.
Yeah, especially when you have 1, 2, 3 coming up. This is a prime chance. 2 on, 2, 3 arguably best hitters up now, and this is, you have to capitalize on this. They didn't against Delaware earlier today. They've shown some improvement on the offensive side. You have Derkowski doing well in the circle. Again, substantial improvement from earlier today, but yeah, you got to capitalize on chances like this.
No score, top of the 5th inning. Michigan and USF, South Florida, the host of this Invitational. Review still going on. Here we'll see what comes of it. Ella McVeigh was trying to beat out a chopper to third. Dania Brooks fired it over to Jamia Nelson at first. Throw a little bit up the line. Nelson, they called it on the field that she kept her foot on the bag, and McVeigh would have been out. Faith Canfield coaching first for Michigan. Bonnie Thole from the dugout. Both immediately wanted a review. And we'll see what comes.
Yeah, Faith Canfield immediately, I think before the throw even hit, I mean, she was insistent that her foot was not on the bag, and held McVeigh at first, would not allow her to run back to the dugout. I mean, from her, looks like she's confident. I think, yeah, the umpires are coming back out.
Here they come, and they'll rule her safe. Michigan got it right. They overturned it. Faith Canfield, a couple pats on the top of the head of McVeigh's helmet. The senior hustled and bustled down the line and beat one out. So now 2 on, nobody out, and the order flips over to Ellie Sealer. Big opportunity for this Michigan offense. No score here, top of the 5th inning between USF and Michigan. Ellie Sealer in there. Thorrington and McVeigh on second and first. First pitch to her upstairs. One and 0 to Sealer. Tap the far side of the plate. Put the bat up behind her helmet. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Long. Line drive down the left field line, and it's run down there by Alex Wilkes. Good contact by Sealer, but she lines out. 1 down.
Again, good contact from the leadoff hitter and Sealer, unfortunately right into Wilkes' glove. Still have 2 chances here with Indy and Janisa Conway on deck.
Second time Sealer's lined out opposite field in this game as Langford takes ball 1. One and 0 to Indiana Langford. CeCe Thornton, the pinch runner at second. Ella McVeigh at first. 1 out here, top of the 5th. And that pitch misses low and away. 2-0 now to Langford.
Good eye from Langford. Struck out twice earlier. Now ahead on a hitter's count.
The first a visit here for Ann Long. South Florida will take a pause, talk this over. Bit of a jam for the freshman Ann Long. 2 runners on, 1 out. She's behind 2-0 to Indiana Langford, the slap hitter in the 2 spot in this Michigan order. Bonnie Thole, Faith Canfield, both over to chat with Langford. Thole wrapped the right arm around the head of Her second hitter, Indiana Langford, tapped her helmet a couple times. Everyone back to their respective positions. McVeigh and Thorington a high five near second base. McVeigh will drop back over to first. And here we go. Long back on the rubber. 2-0 count, 2 on, 1 gone. Top of the fifth, no score. And Long hurls home. And misses for ball 3 to Indiana Langford. (3-0) to Langford. Janisa Conway on deck for Michigan. Long uncorks 3-0 and pumps one in there, 3-1. You know, if you're South Florida, Langford, the two-hitter, probably the least dangerous of the next bunch. Conway and Erickson puts behind her. She's ahead 3-1. Here's the pitch to her. Bunt laid down. It's a beauty. Langford hustles to first. Nobody covers the bag. She is safe. Nelson came on the charge from first, even as it crawled toward the third base side. And the second baseman, Garcia Soto, couldn't get there. I don't think they were getting Langford anyway.
No.
With her blazing speed down the line, the bases are loaded for Michigan with 1 gone for Janisa Conway.
Well, no, nonetheless, though, I mean, that's a defensive blunder. No one covering first. Luckily for Nelson, she realized and double clutched the throw to not fire it off to nobody at first, and that could have easily scored 2, if not 3, with Indiana Langford's speed. And as you said, you know, that might not be the ideal hitter you have in this spot if you're the Wolverines with 2 on, but I mean, that worked to perfection. Now bases loaded with just 1 out, and you have the heart of the order coming up.
Peyton Dixon will come on in relief. The southpaw was phenomenal against Michigan a year ago. I was bringing up the Langford thing more so in a point of the South Florida sign that Langford was ahead 3-0, and it felt like that was a hitter Long should have been attacking as opposed to staying away from her behind 3-0 when you've got the power bats Conway and Erickson behind her.
Right. No, no, I agree with you on that.
So Peyton Dixon, the southpaw, will come in here for Ken Erickson's South Florida Bulls. Dixon, last year, a phenomenal campaign. 1.87 ERA over 176 and a third. And at this very same invitational a year ago, she pitched a 7-inning complete game shutout in a win over Michigan.
And all season last year, she had a 206 batting average against. And you really come on to campus, you know, as the ace, and she's been phenomenal. So this will be a huge challenge for the Wolverines, but she's in a huge jam with bases loaded, only 1 down. You have Conway now up with Erickson on deck and puts in the hole.
Thorington at third, McVeigh at second, Langford at first, all among the fastest Wolverine runners. Janisa Conway not far behind them at the dish. First pitch to her, wave and a miss. Big cutter to pitch out the knees, 0-1.
And she wanted to give Michigan the lead off that swing. I like the aggression with only 1 out, bases loaded.
0-1 count here to Janisa Conway. Here's the pitch from Dixon. She finds the corner on the outside half, 0-2. Bases loaded, 1 out, top of the fifth, no score. Janisa Conway at the dish. Peyton Dixon in there out of relief for USF. Here's her 0-2 on the ground. Charging from shortstop Rivera. Throw to first in time to cut down Conway. Thorington will score. Other runners move up. McVeigh to third. Langford to second. And Michigan leads 1-0 on the ground ball off the bat of Janisa Conway.
And that's all you need. Just scratch off 1 across in such a pitcher's duel like this. Now you have Dixon, a better pitcher than Long, who had a great outing so far. Maybe that's all you need, just like last season. All South Florida needed against Michigan last season was 1 run. Now you have Maddie Erickson up with 2 in scoring position.
And it looks like they're just going to intentionally walk Maddie Erickson here. Camilo Ortiz-Martinez, the catcher, standing up toward the right-handed batter's box. First pitch was way away, and the second. So Erickson will be walked here intentionally with runners on second and third and an open base at first to see the freshman Lauren Putz, and for Dixon to see another left-handed hitter as she just dispatched the lefty Conway.
Yeah, but Putz, no slouch in the offensive categories in high school. I mean, she balled out. 559 career average, 122 RBIs, 42 home runs in her high school career. And
Putz has been good so far today in her college debut. 1 for 2 in this game. Also had a hit and pair of walks in game 1 this morning. And she'll dig in here. Bases loaded, 1-0 Michigan. Top of the 5th inning, 2 outs, lefty on lefty against Peyton Dixon. Here's the first pitch to Putz, and it's a strike pumped in there by Dixon.
Man, this is a huge spot for the freshman born of Michigan royalty.
Here's the 0-1 delivery. Off speed, misses down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Lauren Putz. McVeigh, Langford, Erickson, third, second, and first for Michigan. 1-1. Putz takes a big cut and swings through it. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
She wanted to change the game immediately with that swing. Nonetheless, 1-2 count. She has showed remarkable patience so far in this tournament.
Dixon comes set and rocks forward. 1-2. Wave and a miss. She got her with her eyes ball. Dixon strands the bases loaded. Michigan plates 1. And the Wolverines lead it 1-0 as they head to the bottom of the 5th inning. And look, with Lauren Derkowski in the circle, how much more will Michigan need to win this game?
And as I said earlier, just like last year, all South Florida needed to beat Michigan last year was 1 run, and might be a completely different tale. Michigan needing 1 run against the Bulls with Derkowski lining up in the circle. And again, if you're Coach Erickson for the Bulls, that's why you go to Dixon in that spot, to shut it down, shut down the bases loaded threat, and she did just that.
Derkowski back in the circle, getting warm. Michigan able to push 1 run across. It could have been more. They stranded the bases loaded. It's the 3rd time they've stranded the bases loaded today in 2 games. And they've left a lot of runners on throughout both of these games.
Yeah, and like I said, you just need to capitalize on those opportunities when you get them. They don't come often, but you need to capitalize on them going forward. And that's what Michigan absolutely needs to do going forward if they want to be competitive, not only in the Big Ten, but in the national landscape as well.
It'll be 6, 7, 8 for USF. Tania Brooks, Camille Ortiz-Martinez, Jamia Nelson due up for the Bulls. Thank you for tuning in to WCBN Sports, the official student radio of the University of Michigan. I'm Alex Miller, alongside me TJ Fossmeyer in Game 2, the USF-Rawlings Invitational. This one between the Michigan Wolverines and the South Florida Bulls, the hosts of this event. Michigan leads 1-0. They just pushed 1 across in the top of the 5th. Now in the bottom of the 5th, Lauren Derkowski back to work in the circle. Tania Brooks will lead things off against her. Brooks popped up to Derkowski her first time up and takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Derkowski so far, 4 innings of work, 3 hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts. 1 extra base hit allowed. Here's the 0-1 to Brooks. Wave and a miss. Hefty hack. No dice, 0-2.
And again, in this at-bat, Brooks not able to catch up to the fastball of Derkowski. Constant struggle in this game.
Derkowski comes set, right foot on the rubber. Rocks back, here's the 0-2. Up and away, off the glove of Valamont for a ball, 1-2. So there, look, rise ball way up, but change the eye level a little bit. See where Derkowski goes here, 1-2. Derkowski comes set, hands rock forward, now back 1-2. Cut on and fouled back by Brooks.
Looking to get a piece of that one, seemed way behind. She stays alive, just nabbing a piece of that one.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Dania Brooks. Camilo Ortiz-Martinez waits on deck for the South Florida Bulls. Here's the pitch from Derkowski. Off speed, got her swinging way out in front was Dania Brooks. Derkowski fooled her.
Yeah, I know, she was completely fooled. Way out in front, nearly got down on one knee after that breaking ball, and great stuff from Derkowski. Jeez.
Camilo Ortiz-Martinez now. First pitch to her, cut on and fouled back. Pitch up in the zone at 68 miles per hour. Out of the hand of Lauren Derkowski. Martinez today hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. Oh and 1 to Ortiz-Martinez. Here's the pitch from Derkowski. Fly ball high into the sky, drifting toward the foul line on the right side. Indiana Langford calls for it, makes the catch, retreating backward. Tough play. Well handled by Langford. She called off, the first baseman puts.
Yeah, great catch from Indiana Langford. She had to kind of hop back off 1 foot to get to that one in foul territory. It's a high flying second out.
Now Jamia Nelson, the 8-hitter here, 2 gone. 1-0 Michigan, bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch from Derkowski off the end of the bat, dribbles foul down the first base side.
Man, she was sitting fastball in that one. Was way out in front of that one, got a piece of that one into foul territory, but she was sitting fastball first.
Oh and 1 to Jamia Nelson. Derkowski struck her out the first time these two matched up. Here's the 0-1. Derkowski just misses. Went to the heat at 69 miles per hour, just missed a little inside.
Derkowski wanted that one, kind of smiled after that call. And Valamont thought that was in too. Michigan crowd wanted that one in as well.
Derkowski 1-1 on the ground, up the middle. McVeigh eats it up, throws to first. And there's a 1-2-3 5th inning for Lauren Derkowski. Strikeout, foul, pop out, and a ground out.
Quick dispatch by Derkowski against the bottom half of this Bulls order. Keep things status quo, 1-0, but you still have Peyton Dixon in the circle for the Bulls, and she looked dialed in their limited work so far. As it's 6, 7, 8 due up next for the Wolverines.
Top of the 6th inning, 1-0 Michigan. Peyton Dixon, as you said, TJ, back in the circle. This is a really, really excellent arm.
Yeah, second team All-American Conference last season. Not only is her pitching ability just phenomenal in the circle, but she has excellent fielding instincts, had a perfect fielding percentage last season despite being the ace and being out there, being their #1 option last season. See if she can continue her dominance.
Fabulous song playing at the moment.
They've had some good songs.
They have the whole
They've had some good
day.
songs.
It's been good stuff. And you can't call September overplayed.
No.
You know, you cannot,
No.
sir. Not in my presence.
Well, it can't be overplayed if it's good.
No. I've long made the case that Boogie Wonderland is the greatest song of all time. You cannot be unhappy when you listen to Boogie Wonderland. Boogie Wonderland comes on, you just have to smile and
Didn't we listen to that on repeat
of
10
course.
times on the way home from Louisville?
I'm sure we did.
I think we did.
If I was on aux. And anyway, just
Well, you were
thank Earth,
driving.
Wind, and Fire for greatness.
That's true. They are great.
Anywho, top of the 6th inning, 1-0 Michigan. And Peyton Dixon back in the circle, out of the bullpen. She'll see Ella Stevenson, Lily Valamont, and we'll see if Ava Costales returns. She's putting on batting gloves in the dugout with a helmet on, so it looks like she will. 6, 7, 8 of the Michigan order. First pitch to Stevenson from Dixon is a strike dropped in on the outer half.
Good outside breaking ball. Stevenson looked tempted enough to go around on it, thought better of it, but it just fell into the outside part of the zone.
Dixon, the 0-1. That one down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Stevenson. One and one here to Ella Stevenson. Here's the pitch.
Ooh.
And that one went up and into her, and Stevenson will take first base on the hit by pitch.
Well, you need a runner on with nobody out. Just like for the Delaware game, you can do just enough to rattle the pitcher. You got to do anything against Dixon, who's been phenomenal so far in her career, and especially against Michigan.
Lee Valamont will dig in now with Stevenson at first. Walk and a ground out for Valamont. First pitch to her from Dixon. Ground ball to shortstop, played by Rivera. She'll turn it to second. Garcia Soto's turn to first, not in time. With the lead runner Stevenson chopped down. Valamont aboard at first on the fielder's choice.
Ava Costales, the power bat. Up for the Wolverines with a runner on, and no runners in scoring position due to the fielder's choice. Trying to turn the double play, but Valamont beat that one out.
Costales today, her first time up, attacked a first pitch with 2 runners on and 1 out and grounded into a 5-3 double play. Last time out, a patient plate appearance for a base on balls. She takes a first pitch strike at the knees, looks over to her dugout, not happy with it.
No, that one looked too far in from up here. It looked like she almost had to back away in the box. But that one, nonetheless, gets the unfavorable call from Blue.
0-1, grounded toward third, play there by Brooks. She'll throw to first, turn to first, in time. Misspoke there, the throw was first from Brooks up to second base. And they turn 2, Costales grounds in to a 5-4-3 double play to end the 6th inning.
Again, 2 double play chances with runners on for Michigan. Not finding the gaps into the infield. The second time the double play did turn into fruition. Unlucky break for the Wolverines. Nonetheless, they're still on top 1-0. Okay, maybe this is where the music choice kind of tapers off.
You don't like Beyonce?
Well, her country.
You don't like it?
I don't know about it. I'm a little unsure about that. Like September is like
well,
top
it's not going to be September. Nothing's September. Doesn't feel like September over here in February in Florida. It never really does.
It feels like September weather, like September Michigan weather. It's 70. Don't have to.
Well, here we are, 7 o'clock in the evening on a beautiful Friday night, and I'm in shorts and a polo.
It's only oh, it's supposed to snow tomorrow and on Sunday in Michigan. Wow, we came at a good time.
Well, with the impending weather, you never know. Our flight on the ever-reliable Frontier airline could get moved, perhaps. Maybe we'll be stuck in Tampa for some extra time.
Let's start taking some classes here. I don't know.
Go audit something while we're down here. Learn a few things.
Yeah, why not?
1-0 Michigan. Bottom of the 6th inning coming up. Lauren Derkowski, excuse me. Getting warmed back up here. She's been phenomenal, per usual. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts, nothing across. And she'll see 9-1-2. Kathy Garcia Soto, Olivia Elliott, Alexa Galligani.
Garcia Soto in the 9-hole. Renowned defensive presence. The first 2-time American Co-Defensive Player of the Year is the American Conference, that is. 2 in a row. Turned 15 double plays last season. Just crucial middle infielder, but now in the box.
Garcia Soto popped up her first time up. First pitch to her from Derkowski. This is just inside. Valamont held her glove up for a long while. A bark never came from home plate umpire Chelsea Clark. 1-0 to Garcia Soto. Derkowski leans back and fires, and this one's cut on and skied into shallow left center field. Conway drifts over and has it for the first out of the bottom of the 6th inning.
Towering fly ball to Conway. Again, quick out for Derkowski. She's been dispatching this lineup, at least in the last couple of frames, in quick fashion.
Olivia Elliott, the leadoff hitter now. Pair of groundouts to her name today. Derkowski opens her up. That one sliced foul over the third base side. Oh, 0-1 to Elliott. Infield, outfield, largely straight up for Michigan. Against the left-handed hitter, Olivia Elliott. Derkowski deals the 0-1. Up and in, 1 ball, 1 strike. Derkowski comes set, 1-1 is the count. Here's the pitch from Derkowski, sliced back once more, 1-2.
Lucky to catch up to that one low and away. Foul that one off, now 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Olivia Elliott. The 2-hitter, Alexa Galligani, awaits on deck for South Florida. Derkowski, 1-2 pitch. On the ground, McVeigh right there at shortstop, over to first in time. McVeigh barely had a move to pick up that softball and gun down Elliott. 2 down.
Routine play for McVeigh, made it look so easy. The 4-year shortstop starter for Michigan just made it look easy.
Alexa Galligani now. First pitch to her, off speed. Derkowski filled up the zone, 52-mile-per-hour pitch.
Galligani thought about it, pulled back, but it just fell in the zone. Great location from Derkowski.
Derkowski rocks back, 0-1. Sliced foul. Look out in the Michigan dugout. Amanda Chittister nearly barehanded it off the netting. Oh, 0-2 to Galligani. 2 down here. Derkowski fires home. Upstairs with the rise ball. 1-2. 1-0 Michigan. Bottom of the 6th inning. 2 away.
Even though way up in the zone, Derkowski with the rise ball trying to move Galligani's vision up.
1-2. Popped foul here. Erickson runs it down and dives toward her own dugout and snags it. Phenomenal effort for Maddie Erickson for the 3rd out of the inning. And Erickson, who's had a couple of tough plays not go her way at third base today, makes an excellent grab there to get Michigan out of the inning. 1-0 Wolverines. We head to the 7th.
Again, exactly as you said, struggled with the reaction time. She had played up a few times earlier today, just couldn't get her glove on it, but a remarkable diving grab near the dugout. Again, we've seen some excellent defensive plays in the hot corner today from Delaware, from Michigan, and South Florida as well. Arguably one of the toughest positions defensively in baseball, and we've seen it, really come alive.
Peyton Dixon back in the circle for South Florida. Michigan will look here for a little bit of insurance in the top of the 7th inning. Derkowski has been her phenomenal self in her senior season debut. No reason to expect she will not get the 7th inning to try to shut this thing down once and for all. But first, Michigan's last ups and a chance to add on to their 1-0 lead here in the top of the 7th inning.
Yeah, Derkowski has looked dialed in, looked her usual self, frankly. And again, all you need with Derkowski in the mound, you need 1 run, and we'll see if they can tack on some insurance here to make her life a little easier to shut this game down. You have 2 leadoff-like hitters with McVeigh and Sealer, and then you have the heart of the order right after that.
Ella McVeigh, Ellie Sealer, Indiana Langford. 9-1-2 for Michigan due up to start things off here in the 7th inning. McVeigh strikeout looking and then reached down an error.
Still waiting for the ESPN Plus coverage to kick back in. Who needs ESPN Plus anyway? We got free coverage here anyway.
That we do, free, commercial free.
Yeah,
here on WCBN. First pitch to Ella McVeigh, cut on, foul back. 0-1 now to McVeigh. Here's the 0-1. And McVeigh finds nothing as she swings at a pitch down and away, 0-2.
Good breaking stuff from Dixon. As you said, down and away with the breaking ball, good action.
Dixon, the 0-2, down and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dixon rocks back, 1-2 from the southpaw, grounded towards shortstop. Rivera on the charge, throw to first, wild throw past Nelson. McVeigh will take the turn, it goes out of play. She'll be stopped there at second because of it. Oh no, they'll give her, oh no, she'll just chat with Bonnie Thole, sorry, excuse me. For a second I thought they were moving McVeigh to another bag, but instead she'll just give her elbow guard to her head coach Bonnie Thole. Head to second, but McVeigh aboard on what I imagine will be scored an error once more.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Rivera had to rush the throw. McVeigh was flying down the line.
That's what they'll score it. Throwing error on the shortstop, Alana Rivera. First pitch to Sealer is a strike.
But now, importantly, you have a runner in scoring position with 1, 2, 3 due up, no outs. Great chance of tacking some insurance run, make Derkowski's life even easier in the circle.
Brooks, the third baseman, plays in here on Sealer. She lays down a bunt. It goes foul behind home plate. Interesting spot there for Ellie Sealer to lay down a sacrifice to move up McVeigh to third with what would have been then 1 out for Indiana Langford. But instead, 0-2 now to Sealer with McVeigh over there at second base. Dixon unfurls, and that one's popped foul toward the Michigan dugout, and just with enough room is Dania Brooks to haul it in right in front of the Michigan group. And Sealer's gone. First out of the inning brings up Langford.
And just in play for Brooks to make a play. See what Indiana Langford does if they do throw on the sacrifice, potentially. I don't know if you do that with 1 out. Infield playing in, though.
Corners especially, as Langford took a ball and then the pitch was hauled in by Ortiz Martinez, the catcher, and then her glove with the softball in it popped off her hand.
I've never seen that before.
Never seen that one either. 0-1 to Langford with McVeigh on second, and Langford scratches it back foul. She's behind 0-2.
Yeah, Brooks is playing way up at third, pretty much halfway to home plate from the base. Down the left field line.
0-2 now. Peyton Dixon hurls home, misses away. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Top of the 7th inning, 1-0 Michigan. They look for some insurance here. Ella McVeigh up at second base, 1 out for Indiana Langford. Here's the 1-2 from Dixon. This is inside. Ooh. Close pitch, 2-2.
Great pitch, but even better take from Indiana Langford. Inside fastball. Dixon wanted that as a punch-out pitch.
Dixon checks her wristband. Left foot on the first base side of the rubber. Deals the 2-2 off speed. And got her. Not sure if they called Langford swinging there or if that pitch caught the zone. Sort of a half swing for Langford. Either way, she's gone on strikes. That'll bring up Janisa Conway now with McVeigh at second and 2 outs. First pitch to her from Dixon, off speed for a strike. This inning started with McVeigh reaching on a throwing error by Alana Rivera, the shortstop, and moving up to second on that throwing error, and then back-to-back hitters retired. Sealer and Langford, the 1 and 2 hitters, both gone, and no movement from McVeigh. She's still at second. 0-1 to Conway. This is blasted to center field, high in the sky. Galagani going back to the warning track, and she's got it. Conway just underneath it.
That looked belted. I think that would have been out of Carol Hutchins. Man, that looked crushed.
I don't think so. This park, if anything, it's smaller than Carol Hutchins. It is to the corners.
It's deeper in center.
It feels a little deeper to center, but Conway just a little underneath it. High fly ball.
I think that was the most anybody that we've seen in Michigan get a hold of a ball. That looked absolutely destroyed. I think Janelle Alakwa now is also replacing Indiana Langford at second. Man, that looked belted.
Certainly looks like it. Alakwa out there taking warm-ups. Another thing that, you know, if you watched this team last year, you'd be familiar with. We saw Alakwa warm up at second base, or excuse me, fill in at second base in the late innings, the defensive replacement for Indiana Langford quite a bit. She's in there now. McVeigh still at short, Erickson still at third, Put still at first, Derkowski in the circle, Valmont behind the dish, Sealer, Conway, and Stevenson in the outfield.
And now Derkowski, one more inning to go, but she's got 3, 4, 5 coming up with Foreman in the 4-hole, has gone 2 for 2 so far. These will be 3 tough outs.
1-0 Michigan. You know, it's felt like Michigan's been in a bit of control here in this ball game, but
yeah,
obviously the lead just won. This offense hasn't gotten as many of across as perhaps they could have. Derkowski has been dominant. She's thrown 6 innings, given up 3 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts. 1 extra base hit. It came off the bat of Josie Foreman, who's on deck to begin the bottom of the 7th inning. So here we go. Derkowski 3 outs away from a Michigan win. You will see 3, 4, 5. Alex Wilkes, Josie Foreman, Alana Rivera. So first it's Wilkes in the right-handed batter's box. Derkowski fires home, upstairs and away with the rise ball, 1-0. Derkowski's only thrown 70 pitches. She's been very efficient. This USF order has not given her a ton of challenge, really, besides Josie Foreman, who's on deck. Here's the 1-0. Wave and a miss. Another riser. 1-1.
And that rise ball's really been clicking for Derkowski in the circle. And that's why she's just been so efficient going through this lineup now twice completely through. It's been because of the rise ball.
Derkowski 1-1, off speed, off the end of the bat, past the diving Maddie Erickson. It nicked her glove and gets away from McVeigh and is in there for a base hit. McVeigh would have had a very tough play, would have had to play that on a backhand and fire very deep in the 6-hole to first. Not sure if she would have been able to get Wilkes, but off of Erickson's glove, she had no play.
Yeah, that was a no man's land in between McVeigh and Erickson on the left side of the infield, but you know, Erickson had to dive for it to make an immediate play on that. I think it would have been close if McVeigh had gloved it and fired it off.
And Erickson, of course, nearly made that play, got her glove to that softball. Josie Foreman now takes the first pitch for a ball up and away, 1-0. Foreman has swung it well against Derkowski. She's got a single and a double in her 2 chances against her. She's 4 for 5 to begin this season. Staggered stance, left foot pushed up toward the third base side in the right-handed box. Here's the 1-0 from Derkowski. This is outside once more, 2-0. Derkowski behind, tying run on first base in the form of Alex Wilkes. The winning run at the dish and Josie Foreman. Derkowski set. Here's her 2-0 off speed. Misses the zone once more. Another one close, up and away, and it's 3-0 now to Josie Foreman.
Chelsea Clark has not been calling the outside so far in this at-bat. Derkowski now down 3-0.
Derkowski deals. and pumps one in there. Foreman took a step toward first base. Clark gave her the bark and brought her back. 3-1. Wilkes, leadoff hitter in the inning, an infield single. She's at first. Tying run, the winning run at the plate, and Josie Foreman. 1-0 Michigan, bottom of the 7th inning. The ace, Lauren Derkowski, in the circle for Michigan. Derkowski rocks 3-1 off speed. Found the zone once more. There was the outside edge. 3-2.
Great fight from Derkowski. Down 3-0 now into a full count, 3-2. Some excellent pitching from the senior.
Derkowski, right foot on the rubber. Comes set, ball and glove. Rocks back, deals the 3-2. Line drive in a left field. That'll find some grass. Foreman is 3 for 3. None bigger than that one. 2 aboard, nobody out. Bottom of the 7th. South Florida threatening. And Jen Brundage asks for time. She's out of the Michigan dugout to talk things over with Lauren Derkowski.
I think Ken Erickson will opt for pinch runner at second.
I think and at first. Yeah, double pinch run
pinch
move
runner, yep.
for Ken Erickson. And Lauren Derkowski talks things over here with Jen Brundage. But boy, Michigan leads 1-0. Bottom of the 7th inning. Back-to-back singles to open things up here in the bottom of the 7th for the South Florida Bulls.
And so far, Derkowski has shown her ability to get out of tough jams like this. She's done it her entire Michigan career with only one insurance run here. And 3 tough outs coming up. But how about Josie Foreman? 3 for 3 on Derkowski. She's had herself a game.
That she has. That'll bring up Alana Rivera with 2 runners on. Two aboard. Tying run at second base, winning run at first base for South Florida. Michigan leads 1-0. And Alana Rivera has a bat in hand to get a chance to swing here for South Florida. So the pinch runners that came on for Wilkes at second came on Grace Chin, number 2. And first base running there is Alana Consolazio over there at first. Alana Rivera at the dish. Here's the pitch from Derkowski, up and away, 1-0.
And good play from Valmont to corral that one in. She had to get out of her stance to just go up and grab that one to her right.
1-0 to Rivera. Ground ball double play and a fly out to her name so far tonight. Derkowski, the 1-0, finds the inside corner. 1-1, great spot at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Derkowski, right foot back on the rubber. Grips the softball. Now splits and deals the 1-1. That's popped foul out of play behind home plate. Derkowski drew a first ball to open up Rivera. 2 strikes, she's ahead 1-2. One to nothing Michigan, bottom of the 7th inning, nobody out. 2 aboard, both pinch runners, Chin and Consolazio aboard for South Florida. It was Wilkes and Foreman who both singled. Derkowski, here's the 1-2. Upstairs, missed it, and a good layoff for Alana Rivera. Two balls, 2 strikes. And 2 on. Derkowski unfurls home. This one's popped up and played by Janella Lockwo. Called off. Lauren puts and hauls in the infield pop-up for the first out.
Man, that gave me a slight heart attack. I thought Putz had it under and thought there was going to be a potential defensive miscommunication with Lockwo coming over. Nonetheless, out number 1. That's a big out number 1.
Dania Brooks now with one gone, two aboard. First pitch to her from Derkowski. This is above the zone, 1-0. Chin and Consolazio, the pinch runners for USF. Jen Brundage gives the signal to Lauren Derkowski. Derkowski, the senior ace, on the rubber. Two aboard, one gone, 1-0 pitch. A strike with the off speed, one ball and one strike. Dania Brooks 0 for 2 today. Pop out and a strikeout. But a chance here, down a run with two aboard. 1-1 from Derkowski is popped up, foul territory, third base side. Erickson dives into the netting and makes the play. How about that?
What a play. I'm shocked that didn't grab a piece of the netting on the way down. Just on the fine line. It's a game of inches.
That it is.
Man, what a play diving into the net. That's a huge second out.
That is a huge second out and an excellent play by Maddie Erickson in foul grounds. Camille Ortiz-Martinez last out for USF with two aboard, down a run. Cuts to the first pitch she sees, blooper toward short. McVeigh backs up and she's got it. Derkowski lets two aboard, strands them both, three straight retire to close it out. Michigan beats USF 1-0 in 7.
Great stuff from Derkowski to get out of that one with 2 on, 1 in scoring position. Only down 1 with no outs, and to come up, some great defensive plays, some great pitching from Derkowski. Wow, and just all we said was you needed 1 with Derkowski, and that's what they did here. What a game.
Complete game shutout for Lauren Derkowski.
That's how you start your senior season.
That is how you start your senior season. And, I mean, Lauren Derkowski looked as good as she always does. Miniature jam at the end there. 2 leadoff singles to open the bottom of the 7th, but she shut that right down. Maddie Erickson gave her some help with an excellent play in foul territory.
Yeah, 2 excellent plays in foul territory. One with the dive near the dugout and then the dive into the net. Some phenomenal defensive showings, and especially for Derkowski with the jam at the end. Not everything can come easy. She made a lot look easy in this game, and at the end, you can't make it look too easy, I guess, and you still come away with the win. Now that breaks a 2-game winning streak for the Bulls against Michigan, and this is a big win for Michigan. This might not be, if you look in the terms of, Big Ten seeding or national seeding, maybe down the road for Michigan, this might not be a huge win, but for momentum, after what happened earlier today with the loss to Delaware, you needed this win today, and it came up in a big way. There's still a lot to improve on, but again, there's nothing you can't fix here. It's still early days. Got 3 games to go this weekend. Big test against Florida tomorrow. And yeah, they just came away with a big win, and they needed it.
Tomorrow, we hope you can join us. The Wolverines back at this very same spot. We'll play Illinois State at 10 in the morning, and then number 3 Florida at 3 p.m. And obviously, look, today you split your games today. You lose one to Delaware 8-2. You beat USF 1-0. Maybe not the best showing you could have hoped for from this Michigan offense, but at the end of the day, take this one, move on, and one loss isn't going to kill you. Delaware's a good mid-major. USF is as well, and you leave here, all right, go 1-1, and now bring it in tomorrow. Illinois State, and then the big dogs and the Gators. Yeah, and you never know with Michigan's recent luck against the Gators. This is a different Florida Gators team from the last couple of years, ranked number 3. Other polls have them number 1, so I hope you can join us for that. But Michigan has had some good luck. We had the fortune to call that last year, and you never know what happens. Just taking a look at the chat, it's been a very good attendance. I'm not sure on the numbers. I'm not sure what the capacity is of this USF softball stadium, but it was, I'd say, around 75% full before a lot of the Michigan fans just filed out, and same with the South Florida fans. But I imagine tomorrow when the Gators play the Wolverines, it's going to be a full crowd. It was last year for that matchup, and we'll see even for this one. The Gators about to play Illinois State. How many Florida fans fill into this place coming over from Gainesville? Yeah. But there's been a sizable Michigan contingent over the last couple of years. A good Michigan fan base has made the trip. No doubt about it. And this is a good, fun Michigan softball team. Still a lot of room for improvement, a lot of room for growth. Young team. Offense hasn't been perfect. Nothing ever is, but a lot of reasons to be optimistic for this Michigan softball season. This is just opening day so far.
It's just the first win of hopefully many to go forward. You know, it's, again, like you said, such an exciting team. There's been it seems like a different buzz over, you know, compared to the last couple of years. It's a different buzz, and we've been feeling it. You know, we traveled with the team yesterday. We kind of got that buzz from this, and then now even, you know, from today we saw it. You know, before the game they were hyped up, and you know this will be an exciting season, and it's just a start.
Absolutely will. Well, before we wrap this one up, TJ, any final thoughts this fine evening here in Tampa?
No, I mean, it's been a great first day here in Tampa. You know, glad to get the first win notch. And again, it's not the way maybe the Wolverine program, or even Wolverine fans expected this season to start, but there's nothing you can't fix. It's a long season. There's a lot of season to go. You're still, you know, the first 2 games, 1-1. Still have 3 this weekend, and you still have a long season ahead.
Well, we hope you can join us tomorrow, 10 a.m. against Illinois State, 3 p.m. against the Florida Gators. There also, of course, could be minor delays on that Florida game. Like today, everything was pushed back a little bit because some games going long. But round 3, we'll try to keep you updated on Twitter, on the YouTube stream, and should be a couple of good ones tomorrow for this Michigan squad. But for tonight, that'll do it. Michigan beats USF 1-0 on the back of a phenomenal performance by the senior ace, Lauren Derkowski. And for TJ Fossmeyer, I'm Alex Miller, and we'll leave you, as we always do, with a good night and go blue. See you tomorrow, folks.